For this video of the week, I've asked Cathy Andrade of Cathy's Power Skating to come and give us a little idea of what are the important tactics and techniques for a young power skater. Okay, Cathy, thanks for being here.
You bet. It's great to be here.
Cathy is a power skating coach in San Jose and works with a lot of Bay Area hockey players. And Cathy works out of our Sharks Ice practice facility with the Sharks junior players, any private lessons, and also she's worked with some of our professional hockey players, and we've seen great results. So we're very excited for Cathy to spend some time with us and talk a little bit about skating. So our first question, Cathy, is why is it so important, or what's the ideal posture a hockey player should have while they're skating?
You know, Mike, our sport is highly athletic. And like all sports, we need that great athletic knee bend. We need the knees driving right over the toes. But with that, we need that strong body. So here comes in the core, the upper back. I don't want to see any rounded. I need to see that nice strong back as we work on that angling. The angling is what gives us the long stride. I want to see a line from the shoulder to the toe, and then we have everything driving forward. If the upper body's weak, all of a sudden we get mechanical problems with upper body or energy loss by moving against the direction of travel. So depth and knee bend, posture right here. We need the strong back and obviously head up is the key. And backward skating, same thing, except we need a little bit more of that upper back so that we're not over the toes.
Yeah. Now, what do you see with depth problems? You know, you mentioned depth. Why it's so important, like you said, to get the length, but in terms of mechanics and power output, are there negatives to being too high or too low?
You know, there's a direct link between the depth, the knee bend, and the length of the stride. If we have a little bit of knee bend, kind of talk about it in terms with kids and players and giving them visuals. If I have a little bit of knee bend, I've got a little bit of push. Yeah. If I can create great knee bend, there I've got great push. But what comes with that depth for me is the strength to hold it. I see a lot of players that might get in this position, but as soon as they start pushing, all of a sudden, a little bit of a lift, blades now off the ice, now we've lost our generation of speed. So it's not only the depth, it's the strength to be able to hold it.
And that's important, because when we teach off-ice stuff, it's important for us to get low, whether it be in a squat or in a lunge. You know, we need that depth to support our skating stance. So
and depth properly, because a lot of kids think that bending their knees is sitting back, where we need that true athletic knee bend over.
When we talk about off-ice, we talk about agility and being fast, like stopping and starting and you know, turning or cutting. How is developing great edges, is the hockey term, how is developing great edges important for a youth hockey player?
You know, the edges are the foundation, the building of everything, and I kind of look at it in two different parts. Our edges, when we build them, we're creating great stability and balance, which upon that we can build that mobility and that agility. Those players that tend to be instinctual, that we say, have great inside edges, they have great lateral movement, great mobility. But the edges, there's 8 of them. We have 2 feet, we have 2 edges, 2 directions of travel, and working on those in isolation and making them strong is what results being able to move that way in the hockey game. It's unfortunately, I mean, we can't fix or isolate, make them stronger in the game, and privately in my practice, especially one-on-one, we're working on stride all day, but working on edges.
Right. Okay. Now, the last question is, do you see a lot of youth hockey players and pro hockey players who don't have they don't utilize their whole stride length? Do they shortchange themselves and not get enough reach and toe off?
Yeah, you know, that's what I do all day is technically as a coach and a teacher, I'm trying to squeeze as much out of their stride and their technique as I can. And there's really a lot of parts in there, what we talked about, the posture, the depth, having the proper push, an effective return. So overall, I guess I equate it to, why do baseball, why do golf, why do the best in the world have swing coaches? They're trying to make them as efficient and as effective. Why is there not like stride coaches? Why aren't we trying to make these players as, when I say effective, I want to get to the puck the best that I can, the fast as I can with proper energy use, so that I can have stamina, so that I can have good efficiency in terms of still having energy at the end of the shift, at the end of the game. Or Laura Stam, who's a pioneer, she talks about Scott Niedermayer. I mean, how efficient was he? He had probably 50 strides less a game, she said. So there's career longevity. When I look at young skaters, I think that a lot of kids bank on their quickness, that they can just move. So we have to actually teach them the mechanics. This time of year, off season, I get a lot of big kids, 6 foot. All of a sudden, they're still skating like they're little. We have to pull the stride out, teach them and help them with body positioning and proper stride mechanics. And I think just overall the NHL, if you look at old-time hockey or even in the 80s, we've got a lot of great skaters now. We do. But it's just, like I said, squeezing out the most we can out of the stride.
Making them the most efficient they can be.
Absolutely.
Great. Cathy, thank you. It was
You
a lot
bet.
of great information. Cathy has a website, cathyspowerskating.com, if you want more information. I'm going to be posting up some leg exercises and exercises that will help support skating and all of Cathy's members and things like that, so you can go there and check some things out. But thanks for having you.
Great.
I'm glad
You
to
bet.
have you.
Thank you.